Next, let's take a look at this subtraction problem right here. So I laid out the first part, the minuend. Right, so there is my 2x positive minus 7x plus 4. Right? Then I could add in 0 pairs. I could say, well, I don't see positive 2x's, so therefore I'm going to add 0 pairs of 2x's. So I could do that. But I think instead I am going to do the whole flip, right? Subtraction is add the opposite. So I took the subtrahend, right? The 1x squared plus 2x minus 2. Right? I took that subtrahend, I laid it out, and then I am going to flip and add the opposite, because what we teach kids to do here when we say distribute the negative, right, we make every single thing opposite. Okay, so I'm going to add this. These get flipped. These get flipped. Okay, all of that creates my final answer. So let's see, I've got a 0 pair here. So that would create my final answer of x squared minus 9x plus 6. All right, so let's look at some more examples. Let's go to multiplication via the array model. So let's look at x times x plus 4. Okay, so I've got that laid out here in the array. All right, this is my x. This is my x plus 4. Okay, so remember this piece, this is my x squared. All right, and I can see that because x times x results in x squared. And then 1 times x, these are positive, would result in 4 x's. So in a minute, we're going to talk about factoring. All right, when we factor, we'll lay out this piece here that's in the center, and then we'll look at what are the dimensions. What times what results in this rectangle. Okay, and so this is showing x times x plus 4 results in x squared plus 4x. All right, so let's go and look at our traditional FOIL, right? So this problem right here, like x plus 2 times x plus 3. So this exercise right here. And I actually set that up over on my computer screen. All right, so I show that here. So here is my x plus 2. Up at the top is my x plus 3. Everything's positive, right? And so we can see my x times x is x squared. X times 1 is 1x, so I have 3 x's. Down here I have 2 x's, and then 6 1's. All right, and it's become very popular for us to teach FOIL in a box like that. That's another representation. All right, so when I first started teaching, it was always written out horizontally. You know, we would do our FOIL, but this box method has become more popular, but this goes very well with the use of algebra tiles. So let's take a look at this problem. So this is x minus 2, so I'm going to set this up here. So I would have my x plus 4, I'll keep that at the top, and then my x minus 2. So here I am, x plus 4 at the top, x minus 2 along the side. Okay, so positive x times positive x is positive x squared. Negative 1 times x is negative x, so I'll have 2 of these. Positive 1 times positive x is positive x, 4 of them. And then I would have a negative 1 times a positive 1, so these will be negative. All right, and and then I could combine my 0 pairs if I to get my final answer in simplest form. So let's see, I'd have 8 of these reds, and then I could put my 0 pairs together then. So I have plus 4x minus 2x, which would leave me with just the 2x in simplest form, right? So I have x squared plus 2x minus 8 as my final answer. All right, so you try the next one. All right, and I'm going to move on to factoring. So when we are factoring, okay, it says take out the GCF. So what I do is I make a rectangle for x squared plus 4x. Okay, so I make a rectangle, and then I just observe the dimensions, right? What are the dimensions of this rectangle? What times what gives me this? All right, and on this side, I'd have an x, right? On this side, I would have an x, and on this side, I would have 4 units. Okay, so x times x plus 4 would result in that rectangle of x squared plus 4x. Now if I moved on to the next example, which is 6x minus 2. All right, 6x minus 2. How do I make a rectangle out of that? Right, this is not a rectangle. Okay, so I've got to make a rectangle with this. So let's see, if I went like this, now I actually have a rectangle. All right, so that's the key here. I have to make a rectangle. What are the dimensions of that rectangle? I'm 2 units this way, and then I'm 3x, I'm sorry, 2 units this way, 3x minus 1 in the other direction. Okay, so I've got 2 this direction, positive, 3x minus 1 across this way. All right, so that's how I could show that being factored.